Hi, Seb from Shapr3D here. Today, we'll be talking a little bit about some much awaited improvements to 2D drawings and visualization. Let's dive right in. So starting with 2D drawings, one of the most important parts of your drawing is actually the title block. And within Shapr3D, this has so far been limited to just this very simple design, this very simple implementation in the bottom right over here. And one thing we've just done is we've rolled out the ability to select different title blocks from a series of presets which we've made available. Let's give that a try. You can open up the properties sidebar from here and you can see that there's a new option available called title block. And there's a number of presets available here. Let's just try out vertical to demo this. And you can see that if we close the properties sidebar, you can see that a number of new fields have been added, different layouts, so it now runs vertically across the entire height of your drawing. And this will allow you to be way more descriptive, add all of the necessary information you need to your drawing. Let's fill in some of these fields. So we can now move this logo, the Shapr3D logo, into the top here. And let's zoom in a little bit. So one additional improvement to the title block area is that previously you would have had to leave your drawing to modify the title of the drawing within your items menu. And now we've made it super simple to simply select this and type whatever you want to within the text editing area. And the same applies for any of the new fields which we've added, so we can fill in some text here. And continue all the way down the drawing. And this lets you add some critical information. Let's add some information about the tolerancing here. And we can add some simple notes about the revision here. And some notes about the material. Great. And we can zoom out and see that we've got this much more descriptive title block area. And this is really just the first stage here. We'll be adding multiple new presets over time. This is actually something that we'd really be curious to hear from you. If you've got any particular layouts which you love to use, which you see used a lot, send them over to us, reach out. We'd love to hear from you. One additional change which we've made to the 2D drawings experience is a shift away from the properties modal, which we used to have, to a new properties sidebar, which you've actually already seen me use. And there are two main reasons we did this. One is that we're looking to always add more options here, and this gives us a lot more flexibility. And the other is that by being in the sidebar here, you can actually explore different changes and see how they impact your model live without needing to jump back and forth. So just to show this, I could change from the unit from millimeter to meter here, and you can see that this is live updating the drawing instantly. I've also promised you updates to visualization. And one of the top requests we got since we first launched visualization is to have much more realistic orientation of the material when it's wrapped around the geometry which you've designed. And as a first step to this, we're rolling out automatic material orientation. This is a really important feature because for certain kinds of materials like wood or brushed metal, the object looks realistic or fake depending on how the wood grain or the brushed metal is aligned with the geometry. Let me just take a moment to show you how this looks. We can open up the properties for this wooden rod here, and you can see that we've added this new option called orientation. And for a new visualized model like this one, it's turned on by default, but for any of your old models, we won't have turned this on just to not surprise you with any changes. And let's turn this off for a moment. and you can see that the grain of the wood is now running in a completely different direction to the rod itself. And we can turn that back on, and you can see that the grain is now really aligned with the primary direction of the rod. And this again is just a first step. We've already been iterating on the algorithm to do this matching to try and make it as accurate as possible. And with one of the next releases, we'll be rolling out manual control of this. So just in case we're not able to get it right, or you want something very particular, you'll actually be able to rotate the material yourself to get it exactly the way you want to. Thanks again for joining me for these latest updates. The team is always really excited to share the work we've been doing with you. As always, we're constantly updating Shapr3D, so reach out in the comments with any requests, questions, feedback, or just to share your excitement. Tune in next time, where in addition to these usual updates, I'll also be sharing a little bit of a sneak peek to a larger release we've got coming up in summer. Stay tuned and see you then.